Hi guys. Alright. Um, in my last video, I was talking about in 1997 when we moved into a new house. Um, I heard meowing. Like within the first week of us moving into this new house, I heard a cat meowing on the porch or under the porch every night or whatever. And then finally one night my mom went outside and called me and told me that there's a black cat with long hair out on the porch. And me being a person who always wanted another cat, I jumped up and ran out on the porch. And there's this black cat out there with long hair that was soaked because it was rainy and cold that night. And it was, I don't know, I think I said in my last video this was probably like late October, early November. I don't really know for sure, but I know it was after my birthday, a couple days after my birthday. And so I went out there and I spent a couple hours out there in the rain and cold playing with this cat. And then finally I went inside after spending about 3 hours out there. And since that night, that cat never left. I mean, every day when I would walk to school, she would follow me to school. And I was in middle school at the time, so it was probably like in sixth grade. I don't know. And she would actually follow me to school every morning. And I don't know, for her being a cat that just showed up on her porch like one cold, rainy night, for her to just automatically be so attached to us. Like, she was attached to my whole family, but uh, definitely she was a little bit more attached to me because she used to follow me to school every morning. And my school was at least about 7 or 8 blocks away. So this cat that just showed up one night, she started following me to school every day. She'd actually follow me right to the school. Um, but like early in the morning, there would be like a lot of kids, gathered around outside the school, and I used to be worried, this little cat, just following me, and I used to be worried when the bell rung to like go inside the school. I'd just look back and see her standing there outside the gate of the school, and I don't know, she was just very smart. Like, yeah, there was a gate outside of my school, like, and she would always stop on the outside of that gate, and I think she did that because in the morning, like most of the kids were like, there's like a basketball court, and there'd be like a ton of kids on the basketball court just hanging out before school. And she always stopped on the outside of the gate. She never tried to walk across the basketball court, like actually like right to the door, the front door of the school with me, because it's like she knew that maybe that wouldn't be safe for her. I don't know. But yeah, so she started doing that, and I really thought that since the school was so far away from it's like kind of far from my house at that time, I really thought there would be a day I would come home and like she wouldn't be sitting back on my porch, but she always was. And this went on for probably about 3 months, um, since the night when she actually just showed up that night. But yeah, every day after school, I'd walk back home and she would be sitting back on the porch. So I don't know, I just started thinking about, wow, this cat that just showed up out of nowhere, she's following me to school, and then she's like, actually, when I go into the school, she actually walks 8 blocks back to my house and just, sits on the porch and waits for me to come home. And I thought that was so cute. It really was. I mean, because when you think about it, for her, like, I used to think she was a stray, but I don't know. For her to like know how to walk, it seems like a stray cat would just stop anybody's house, but no, this cat actually walked 8 blocks back to the same house. So at that point, I kind of started thinking that maybe she was whoever lived in that house before we moved in. Maybe that was their cat, and maybe they just like kind of let her go. But I don't know, cause like when she showed up on our porch, she didn't have a collar on or anything. So, you know how, like, people, when you see a cat, it just shows up, outside one night. She doesn't have a collar on or anything, so you're just going to assume she was a stray. But I don't know. She was pretty smart right from the beginning. And not only did she follow me to school every day, she followed me everywhere. Even, like, I remember there was a couple times me and my mom, would walk to the store, which was also pretty far from our house. She would walk right with us. And the grocery store. And we would go in the grocery store, spend probably an hour in there. And I mean, it's when I say she was smart, like she never tried to follow us into the store. She actually would step outside the doors of the store and just stay there and wait for us until we came out. She didn't try to leave with anybody else who came out of the store. And like almost like a dog, waiting for, I mean, people think dogs are smarter. So it's kind of like something that you would expect more from a dog. I don't know. But no, this cat that just showed up on our porch 3 months earlier was following us everywhere. And around the time of her following us around, she still was sleeping on our porch because my mom, like I said, she wasn't a cat person. And no matter how much I begged her to at that time, I did start calling her Princess. Um, because I think in 1997, that was around the time when Princess Diana died. So I kind of just named her after Princess Diana. But, so, yeah, at that time, my mom still was not allowing Princess to come into our house. So Princess probably spent about 4 months actually living on our porch before my mom finally realized that she wasn't going anywhere, you know. She chose us. She basically chose us, and she wasn't going anywhere until she was finally allowed to come in the house. Um, so my mom finally gave in after 4 months and said, okay, she can come in as long as, we get her shots. And after 4 months, Princess finally was able to come into the house. And even when she finally was able to come into our house, she was just as well behaved in our house as she was on the street. And that again is what made me think that she must have had an owner that lived in that house before we moved in, because she was just too well behaved for just a stray cat off the street. She knew right away. She knew what no meant. I mean, if she was doing something that maybe she shouldn't have been doing, if you just said no one time, she stopped automatically. She never jumped up like in places where people sometimes don't want their cats to be. She never tried to jump up on the counter. She never tried, like if you were sitting at the table eating, she never tried to jump up on the table and like get in your food. And so she was just an awesome cat. Right from day one, she was a wonderful cat. And another reason, like, well, Thanksgiving was just like 2 days ago. And I was actually thinking about doing a video after this one, like about the things I'm thankful for. And one of the things I'm definitely thankful for Princess coming into my life. Because I don't know, at that time I was going through, in middle school, I was going through some pretty tough shit. Grew up in my parents are, I grew up in a alcoholic household. And I was going through a lot of shit at that time. So this cat just shows up out of nowhere and basically just became my best friend. And it's almost time to end the video. Only got a couple more seconds or whatever, but I don't know. I think that pretty much wraps up what it was like, how Princess came into my life. And ended up remaining a part of my life for the next 13 years. So, yeah, I'm definitely thankful for that cat coming in my life. I'm so damn thankful. I mean, I don't even know if I can find enough words to explain how thankful I am. See you next time, guys.